Rattlesnake gives it away. Here's Fleury looking for his first goal of the series. Scores!
Theo Fleury was the 5'6" hockey player that no one thought would make it to the big leagues.
And Theo Fleury and the Flames are in seventh heaven.
But he beat those odds and made a name for himself as one of the fiercest players in the NHL. The former Calgary Flame is a Stanley Cup winner and Olympic gold medalist who also battled addictions to drugs and alcohol throughout his career.
Seriously, I couldn't stay sober for 5 minutes because that's how uncomfortable I felt in my own skin.
Haunted by his past, he published 2 books after retiring from hockey.
You know, because when I wrote Playing with Fire, I was just writing it to get a bunch of stuff off my chest and, you know, sort of tell the world, you know, this was my life, this is what happened, et cetera, et cetera.
In his first memoir, Playing with Fire, which hit the shelves in 2009, Fleury disclosed that he'd been sexually abused by his junior hockey coach, Graham James, when Fleury was in his teens.
You know, like I was pretty nervous and, you know, a little bit hesitant because I didn't know how everybody was going to react to what was in the book, right? And so did a book signing in Toronto, the first book signing, and 400 people show up, and I'm like, it's very strange because I didn't expect anybody to show up, right? So I start signing books, and I see this guy out of the corner of my eye, and he's got my book like this against his chest, and his face is buried in the floor, and he's walking really slow. And so I follow him along the line. He gets to the front line, sets the book on the table, looks me in the eye and says, "Me too." And that's when I knew that, you know, I'd found the purpose for my life. And since that first reveal, I've had 500,000 more since 2009. So, you know, something that I thought was uncommon is the most common thing in the world.
Fleury's perpetrator, Graham James, pleaded guilty and was sentenced to 5 years in prison.
I don't have to forget, you know, I don't have to, you know, but I got to forgive, right? You know, in order to move forward.
Since the release of the first book, Fleury has spent the past 2.5 years working on his second.
This is sort of an inspiration from the first book, Playing with Fire. The second book was the second question they asked after the reveal, right? So they reveal this stuff and then they say, well, where do I go from here? What do I do next? And so Conversation with the Rattlesnake is like the next step.
In true Fleury fashion, the former All-Star has not allowed the odds to keep him down. Fleury says writing the books has helped him come to terms with his past, and for the first time in his life, he can move forward, focusing on helping others to heal.
And that's really the whole, you know, the whole idea and the whole reason why I get out of bed every morning is, you know, they found the courage and the strength to not be alone and, you know, are willing to talk about it. And, you know, if I can some way, somehow make this comeback in life, then I think anybody can.
For Go Southern Alberta, I'm Jeannette Rocher.
Not only does he finish, but he does a full 360.